Ever get that feeling like some industries are just stuck in a time warp?
Oh, totally. Like they're stuck in
Okay.
a decade that fashion forgot.
Right. Exactly. And today we're diving into one that's really wrestling with its image. Leveraged sales, or as many still call it, multi-level marketing, MLM.
Yeah, you can't escape that baggage, can you? The industry's got some work to do shaking off that old reputation.
For sure. And that's exactly why I was so drawn to Randy Gage's book, Selling Secrets. He holds nothing back, even saying MLM is dead.
Whoa, straight to the point.
Right. I mean, that's a bold statement. We've got to dig into that.
Absolutely. You have to unpack that. But Gage, he's not condemning the whole thing outright. It's more like he's calling for a total evolution.
I like that.
Right.
So what's he saying needs to change?
So he sees that old MLM model, the one that's all about recruitment, not about selling.
Right.
He's like, that's over. That's the VHS tape in a Netflix world.
So he's drawing a line then between that old way and what he calls leveraged sales. But what's that actually look like on the ground?
Think of it this way. A plumber who builds his steady business by actually being good at plumbing, providing a needed service. That's leveraged sales.
Okay, I'm with you.
The old way. It was all about getting rich quick, like a bank robbery, one good score, but not sustainable.
So leveraged sales is about building something that lasts.
Exactly. Ethical practices, actually providing value, building
Right.
something with a long game in mind. It's about legacy, not just a quick buck.
That makes a lot of sense. But how does someone looking at this industry tell the difference? I mean, how do you sort the leveraged sales opportunities from those outdated MLM schemes?
So we're on the hunt for the real deal, the legitimate leverage sales opportunities, right? What's the first sign that we stumbled into, a bit of an MLM time warp?
The compensation plan. That's where the rubber meets the road.
Okay, so walk me through it. What should we be looking for?
With real leverage sales, your income, it comes from selling products. It's that straightforward.
Makes sense.
But if someone's pushing a plan where the real money, it's all about recruiting people. Huge red flag. Yeah, I can see how that gets icky fast.
Gage calls those headhunter fees. Steer clear.
Headhunter fees. Got it. What else? What other shiny lures should set off alarm bells for us?
I mean, anything that sounds too good to be true probably is, right? Crypto schemes, Forex things, those buyers clubs, they sound exciting, but often there's no real product or service underpinning it all.
Right, right. It's like that story Gage tells about the company trying to sell this like $6,000 medical device through direct sales.
Oh, yeah, I remember that one.
He's just like, who on earth is buying that from their neighbor?
Exactly, and hoping to build a business on it. Come on.
It just highlights how off base it is to think people can sell something they don't even understand themselves, let alone believe in.
Totally. And then you get those roadmaps to riches that Gage picks apart. They're all about buying into these expensive training materials or going to seminar after seminar
Yeah.
with these promises of insane returns. It's like, hold on a second.
If it sounds too good to be true,
Exactly.
it probably is.
100%.
And speaking of things that sound too good to be true, Gage's analogy about the cryptocurrency schemes, the buy this $20 bill for $27.
Oh, that's a good one.
It's perfect.
It really lays it bare, doesn't it?
It does. You can't just create value from thin air.
Nope. You need a real product, something people actually want and will use. Leverage sales should be about providing that value.
Okay, so it
Yeah.
sounds like before we jump into any opportunity, we've got to do our homework.
Absolutely. Channel your inner detective.
Right.
Look past the hype, scrutinize the product, the people, the whole track record,
So product, people, track record.
and ask yourself, would I actually use this thing?
Yeah.
Do I trust the people in charge?
Okay.
Have they been ethical? Have they built something sustainable? And if the answer to any of those is even a little bit no, run, don't walk.
Okay, so let's say we found it. We did our due diligence. Great product. The comp plan makes sense. Good people involved. We're ready to build. Day one, what's the move? All right, so we're all in, got our leverage sales hats on, product we love, ready to build this thing. Day one, what's the move?
Gage calls it the major blast. And it's interesting because it kind of flips the script on how a lot of people think about this world.
Okay, how so?
It's not about recruitment first. You actually focus on building a customer base.
So like actually selling the product. Radical, I know.
It's funny, right? But so many people miss this. Get the product into people's hands. Let them experience the value.
Right, because then they become walking testimonials.
Exactly. Those early customers, they're your foundation. They become your best salespeople because they love the thing. It's way more authentic than just hitting up everyone you know saying, join my team.
Oh, for sure. It's like you're planting seeds, not just scattering flyers in the wind, hoping something sticks.
That's a great way to put it. It's about relationships,
Huh.
real ones, which is what leverage sales should be about.
Totally. But there's also this mindset piece too, right? Gage talks about posture.
Oh, posture is huge. It's how you approach the whole thing.
So what's good posture look like in this context?
Confidence. You believe in the value you're offering. You're working your network, but strategically. You're not that desperate, I need to sign everyone up kind of vibe.
Right, because people can smell that a mile away.
They can. It's about letting your passion show, not just bombarding people with pitches.
Which, speaking of, that 3 strikes rule that Gage talks about,
Oh, yeah.
that really stuck with me.
It's about being respectful, you know? Not everyone's going to be into it, and that's fine.
3 swings, and if they're not on base, you move on.
Exactly. It's about finding the people who genuinely connect with what you're offering, not trying to force it.
Okay, so that's finding those early customers. But then, how do we build this thing out?
That's where we get into building a system that's actually duplicable. And this is where Gage's law comes in.
Hit me with it. What's
Yeah.
Gage's law?
The harder you close someone at your direct selling presentation, the less they will duplicate.
Okay, explain it to me like I'm new here.
Let's say you're amazing at sales. You're charismatic. You can charm anyone into a deal. Sounds good, right?
Sure.
But your team, they can't copy that. They're trying to be mini-yous instead of following a system.
So it's about having a process, not just being a one-man show.
Exactly. Gage talks about the difference between building lines and driving lines. Building's like laying railroad tracks, you know?
Yeah.
It's sustainable. Anyone can learn to do it.
And driving lines is more.
Driving lines is all hype and pressure. Short term, maybe, but it burns people out. They don't stick around.
Right, you're building something to last, not just a facade. And part of that, it sounds like, is knowing the leadership pitfalls, too.
Oh, absolutely. Gage talks about the sales pro, the follower, the Hollywood director, all traps.
Okay, so what are those, and how do we avoid them?
Sales pro relies on their own skills too much. Team can't replicate it. Follower, they lack confidence to actually lead. And Hollywood director, they get caught up in the image, the flash, but there's no substance.
So what's the antidote to all that? What kind of leadership actually works long-term?
Gage talks about the 3 rungs. Imagine a ladder. You're working with those above you, your mentors.
Funny.
Yes, you're collaborating with those on your level, sharing ideas,
Support system.
and then you're mentoring those below you, guiding them.
It's like a continuous loop, always learning, always teaching.
Exactly. It creates this culture of support, not the every person for themselves mentality that the old MLM world sometimes had.
And what I appreciate about Gage's whole take on this, it's not just about the money, right?
No, not at all.
It's about building something meaningful, a legacy.
100%. It's about empowering others, making a positive impact.
And that's something that I think resonates with so many people, whether they're in this world or not. That desire to build something bigger than ourselves.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So as you're exploring this, ask yourself, what kind of legacy do you want to build?
That's the question, isn't it? What does success really mean for you?
And if you're ready to really dive deep, Selling Secrets is a fantastic place to start.
Couldn't agree more. Gage's book really gives you the blueprint, not just for a business, but for a life built with integrity.
You don't have to be some kind of sales guru to make this work. You just have to be willing to learn, work smart, and never compromise your values.
And at the end of the day, true success, it's not just about profits, it's about the positive impact you have on others. That's the legacy that truly matters.